and then like the small ones to fill in between.
Yeah, and then like
Should the change go? Could the transition maybe go after her, and then I can say that the one thing that like stayed the same in both of them was the poem, and this is how we kept it in the transition.
So when we first started off our idea for the KEYS mentorship program, we wanted to do like a path that leads to like a better place, so we would have like a gate and like prettier lights, and like it was a better place and everything. So we'd have two people holding a key, so we would have them walking down the bad path and going up to the good, which is like being helped by the mentor and everything.
So one of the ideas that came up in the thumbnailing process was the poem by Robert Frost, which mentions the quote, "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." And in our original thumbnail, it was just kind of in the background and covered by the wash. But when we transitioned it to a new idea, we decided to keep the poem in, and we kept it along the ribbon, so the message is really prominent that, you know, by having this mentor, they could have taken a bad road, but they chose one that may have been a little more difficult, but it was ultimately the best choice.
So I went back to the basics of how we wanted to express interconnectedness with a mentor that would lead to a better path, and I thought, why not use hands that our one of our members, Michelle, originally had in mind, and these ribbons that Catherine really liked would represent the road, and the ribbon would then change from being a dark, more negative ribbon, and then it would transfer to a golden, bright ribbon.
So after she came up with the holding hands idea of like the mentor and the or like the student, she and we stayed after school one day and we just like painted it, and I think our contrast in style like really like metaphorically like enhances this piece, because hers is more like smooth and mine's more like contrasted and like rough.
So like the student's hand, I have more of like a smoother style, and also in this layout, the student's hand is a lot darker than the mentor's hand, so it also kind of like signifies how the student's in the dark and then a mentor is there to just make everything okay.
Yeah, so like mine was like a little bit more, like the mentor's hand is a little bit more bright and also more like, I guess, rough, because like mentors have been through a lot and they know how to guide the student to where they need to go. And that also like kind of parallels with the ribbon, because the ribbon's darker when it's on like the student's hand, but as soon as it hits the mentor's hand, it gets brighter.
So we couldn't do a legitimate road because it would just look odd with two hands above a road, so we chose a path instead. It took actually all of us actually to give it that look that looks like an actual cobblestone path.
Like with the Katy ISD and the 2015 props and stuff.
Okay, so basically while we were going through the process of creating the background for the cobblestone, like we just thought, like, how are we going to put the Katy ISD logo in the 2015 without it making it look awkward? So we thought, like, hey, maybe we can like turn some of the cobblestones and turn it into the actual logo itself and the actual 2015. The reason why the Katy ISD logo is like raised up a bit is because we used putty to make it look more raised and not flat like the cobblestone. And we used like different colors to represent. The A plus like in gold like represents like we want to achieve, and to achieve like we need to make it towards the path.
Like not every single cobblestone looks the same.
So since it's the KEYS program, we knew that we had wanted to incorporate a key into our piece even from the beginning, but we weren't quite sure how to go about doing it. So there was a lot of talk about making a key and a lot of talk about drawing keys, but eventually what we decided that we would do is we would just put a key on the piece, and the key is supposed to represent like new beginnings, unlocking new doors, and going new places, which is what the program is all about.
And kind of through working on the piece, we all figured out how to work together. And it was kind of a really good team building exercise because we'd all work on different parts to help each other, and we'd all work on things together and bounce ideas back off each other and get the whole thing done. And so working on the whole thing together really put that team building, that moving on, that choosing a good path and working together into the piece that we were supposed to express through it.
Finished.
I'm Anna. I'm Morgan.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Shauna.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Aubrey.
I'm Ricardo.
I'm Emma.
And this is Taylor High School's 2015 KEYS Commemoration piece.
Michelle's, but like everybody put ideas into it still, like with the Katy ISD